Hey, it's Kim, and this is my final vlog for my PDP Core Techniques module code PCD4102. In this vlog, I'll be looking back on my improvements and my methods applied throughout my first year at Shockout. Hope you enjoy. The first style I'll be evaluating is ballet, and the first skill I am reflecting on is my balance. In my first term, I struggled to hold myself up on demi-point. My heel was barely off the floor and my arms were not held in the correct first position. My centre of gravity was off and I found myself rolling onto the sides of my feet instead of staying in the centre. I wasn't using any of the muscles correctly as I didn't properly understand what it meant to engage my muscles. Through frequent training of the balance exercises noted in my previous vlog from December to April, I've noticed an increase in my overall leg strength, as well as an improvement to my muscle memory as I now automatically pull up on my supporting leg and engage my core and lats when balancing. My balance has also been improved through my new knowledge of aspects like counter pull and what it means to be on top of your leg. This combined with my balance exercises has allowed me to stay controlled when balancing, and I can now balance for longer. The next skill I will be reflecting on in ballet is my posture. As previously only being trained in hip hop, I found it difficult in the beginning to not slouch my back, which led to me falling out of my pirouettes due to my lats not being engaged and my overall poor posture. Through the exercises mentioned in my previous vlog and my training in class, I now hold myself correctly, which has contributed to better performance and technique quality when I dance ballet. The last skill in ballet that I'm reflecting on is my foot and ankle strength. In my first term, I lacked the ability to stay on releve, which meant my heel was barely off the floor, and I didn't snap up onto my foot with enough strength and stability, often rolling onto the sides of my feet. With the help of my strengthening exercises, I can now hold myself up on demi-point stably and keep my weight in the centre of my foot, as well as reaching a higher foot arch with my heel a lot further off the floor than in first term. The next set of skills I will be evaluating will be in jazz, the first skill being my dynamics. In my first term, I didn't fully understand what it meant to incorporate dynamics to my movement in jazz, and so my movement looked basic and did not flow together. From my feedback from my December exams explaining how I should experiment in light and shade, I then worked on giving each movement its own dynamic in practice, and through the practice of each movement learnt in class, my understanding and execution of dynamics has significantly improved. I will now be reflecting on my alignment. In my first term, I was only just gaining knowledge of the correct placement of my arms in jazz. For example, in this video, my arms are not in the correct positions for high parallel and my elbows are drooped in first. I almost seemed to cut the positions short, which made my performance appear sloppy. I contributed this to the lack of knowledge and poor arm strength, so I did arm strengthening exercises outside of class, which has helped me to hold my arms in the correct positions with strength and precision. The last skill in jazz I will be evaluating is my control. In my first term, I lacked the ability to smoothly execute my pirouettes and often slam down back off releve when landing. Through my research, I found that control is mainly down to the strength of my quads, hips and core. Therefore, I did exercises to strengthen these muscles. Combined with my smart target of practicing my double pirouettes, en dehors and en-dedans, I have increased my overall control. The next style I'll be reflecting on is contemporary, the first skill being my back flexibility. In my first term, I had very little mobility in my back. I struggled to do simple movements like a hinge without straining my muscles. After training these exercises mentioned in my previous vlog, I've noticed an improvement in my back flexibility and range of motion. I aim to be able to do all of the advanced exercises from my previous vlog by April, and now I can almost do all comfortably. I combined my last two skills for contemporary, fluidity and use of breath, as I found they come hand in hand with one another. To work on these skills, I frequently improvised contemporary movement whilst filming myself, watching it back and making notes of moments where I could incorporate more fluidity and where I needed to inhale and exhale to move deeper into my movement. Through practice, I now feel that I freestyle contemporary better and breathe through my movements with more fluidity. Moving on to the healthy dancers segment of my final vlog. Here is a breakdown of my Term 1 and Term 2 points and methods for improvement. Looking back at my progress from Term 1 to now my final term at Shockout, I have definitely noticed an overall increase of knowledge about aspects of nutrition and overall keeping a healthy lifestyle. I eat more protein in my meals, I drink a lot more water, and I'm keeping a healthy mindset by frequently going to the gym and having a set schedule for what I need to get done, as well as journaling in my diary to help with my emotions. My first year at Shockout has definitely been a learning curve for what I need to set myself up for towards the next 2 years of my training, as I now know what to expect and how to deal with obstacles I may need to overcome, both physically and mentally. As I progress to year 2, I hope to keep the same habits that I have created in my first year and continue to strive for what works for me best and what will benefit my training most, whether that be continuing to do the exercises to continue to strengthen my muscles or continuing to work on applying aspects like dynamics or fluidity to my work. I hope to improve just as much, if not more, in my second year as I learn about the industry and develop into the best dancer that I can possibly be. Thank you so much for coming along with me on my journey to improvement. I hope you enjoyed my 3 vlogs. That's all for now. Bye!